Hi everyone, welcome to the section about the event handling in this course. It's quite important, and let's have a little bit of overview about what we are going to be covering in this section. So what is actually event handling? The event handling is the way your program responds to certain events. For example, if you press the keyboard or if you press the mouse or if you perform any other action, what will happen in the program? How will the program respond to that? So here we're basically going to learn how to take inputs from mouse and keyboard, and actually not only in this section but in all the sections we're going to cover that. And also we're going to learn how to focus the mouse, and we're also going to learn another very simple techniques that you can start with. We're going to write codes about that. So these are going to be the main techniques that we're going to cover here. But let's first look at the theory. I mean, what is behind this event handling and how it's done in Java. So in this slide here, you can actually see the graph for the event handling, and what it means is that you see that there is a subject. So each subject participant manages a list of observer objects. Okay, and these observer objects are relevant to each event a subject can generate. The observer object in the list must provide a specific interface through which the subject participant can notify them when an event that the observer objects are interested happens within the subject participant, then all other objects are notified. And you can see this from the graph. So if we have a look at the graph, here we have the subject and we have the observer of this subject, okay? And the observer points to the event listener or to something that happened in the system, okay? And the event listener points to an event or event object. So in Java Swing, the graphical user interface or the GUI manages different types of methods and it listens to them, okay? And for that it uses the add some listener or remove some listener. And in the system, each component is listening to all other listeners of certain event. So when we create our code, we're first going to create a runnable object. So this is going to be the highest level, okay? And once we have a runnable object, then inside this runnable object, we can add different components, methods in order to display things on screen. And basically this is the way that we can run constantly our program or window that we want to create. And here we also have two options: invoke later and invoke and wait. So first of all, if you don't care about when the task finishes, then you can use invoke later. So this is when you need to execute a task of the dashboard read, okay? And when you do this, if you don't care what your result is going to be, or you want to keep displaying this window, let's say even after you press a certain button, then you would use invoke later. And then we have the other option, invoke and wait. And invoke and wait means that you cannot continue with your with the things that you are doing until your task is completed. So let's say once you select a certain button on the window, then it will return some value, something will happen. For now, for most of the codes we are going to use invoke later, so I can show you each components of the Java Swing, and you can see the different types of buttons, displays, and so on. We're going to cover some of this in this section. Event handling is quite hard, and in order for Swing to simplify this, it stores virtual attributes for each event handler. So when later an action associated with a component happens, then that component automatically gets the information. And the following classes implement this concept, not just them, but these ones we're going to cover here. So the first one is the abstract action class, which extends the action class, the keystroke class, and the swing focus management class. Okay, so these are actually going to be the classes we are going to cover in our next lectures. So please bear with me, and I will be shortly with you, and we will start with the abstract